morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Good morning, my fellow bikers. Good morning, everybody else. In the cage this morning, heading to work. I was going to make this this video while I'm driving, right? So I'm not going to be paying close attention to the camera because I need to be paying attention to the road, right? So I'm just going to talk, and you guys can kind of see me. But we're going to start the series this morning that I talked about before. Tales from the cage, because we're in the cage this morning, right? I don't know if you can see around, but it's nasty outside. I'm not opposed to riding in the rain, but I can't record in the rain. And I have other things to do today, so we're caging it, right? But here we go. Video 1, Tales from the Cage. And this series is going to be about just storytelling things that's happened to me through my life, motorcycle related, of course. And hey, this is about all of us. So let's comment, let's interact with each other. Let's be nice to one another, right? I mean, we can razz one another, but let's be nice to one another in our comments and the way that we talk and interact with each other. Well, let me take you all the way back to the very beginning of where it started for me in the motorcycle world, right? Okay, I was born in 1980. I'm 45 years old. I'll be 46 in a couple of months. And where it all started for me, the very first core memory that I have, all right, 1985, I was 5, maybe almost fixing to turn 6, all right? The 80s were a wild time for Harley-Davidson. From the 80s, after AMF sold back to the motor company, and things started to rekindle, and quality came back, and people wanted a Harley. So from the 80s, I'd say, you know, from the very early 80s, you know, when the Evo started to come in and the shovel heads started to go out, all the way up into the mid 90s, there was a waiting list to purchase a Harley-Davidson. So my dad, you know, my whole family's been a Harley family forever. So my dad was on this waiting list for like a year and a half to purchase a Harley. Well, he went on the waiting list in the shovelhead days, before the Evo it was even a thing. I mean, it was burblings that they were going to change the engines, right? But he was a shovelhead guy. My whole family, you know, of course, you know, when you ride your whole life, you go through the different phases, you know, shovelhead, Evo, twin cam, blah, 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 you know the deal. So he's on this waiting list to purchase. Well, he gets a call from the local dealer here that they've got what he wanted in stock, and he was the next one on the list. And if you want it, you're going to have to come get it. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to the next person. So he goes down, him and his best friend, right? And they had 2 brand new wide glides at the time with Evos in them. So they go down, and my dad and his best friend purchase. They didn't want the Evo. I'll just preface with that. They didn't want the Evo. My dad was like, okay. You know, I've been waiting a year and a half. Or I've been waiting 2 years. I'll take the bike, you know. But you're going to have to put drag pipes on it. You're going to have to do this. So, you know, back then, you could actually work with dealers and get things done to get the bike sold. So he got a litany of add-on components that were installed by the dealer, and took the bike home. Now, I remember when this bike came home, I'm going to insert a stand-in photo somewhere here of the bike, because there's no photos of the bike. He didn't have it long. He got rid of it. That's a story for the next episode of Tales from the Cage. But this is the best photo I found online of what I remember the bike to look like. It's not my photo. I'm just using it as a representation. So there's that. But I remember I was at my grandmother's house, and she kept saying that your dad's coming over here with something cool or something special. I can't remember. Man, I was 6. But he rolls up on this wide glide, and I'm like, wow, that's really loud. I like it, you know? So we end up, dude, I did it with my kids. I wish I had photos of it, but I don't. I wish I had photos of this core memory for myself, but I don't. But my dad yanks me up, 5-6-year-old, throws me on the tanks, and we take off through the neighborhood. No helmets, no nothing. Okay, this is the 80s. So I'm like, wow, this thing is loud, and it's like, it's very shaky. I don't know what's going on. So we go around the neighborhood, and we come back, and I remember coming back up the hill, the street going to my aunt's house was a hill, or my grandmother's house, excuse me. I had to blow a horn at somebody. People can't drive, right? But the street going back to my grandmother's house was a hill going kind of up, right? So we round the neighborhood, and we circled around the block several times, and we're coming back to the house. Bear with me. Coming back to the house, and what does my dad do? Gives me the throttle. Well, what does a 6-year-old do with something that twists? And when you twist it, it does something. Wide open, baby. Whiskey throttle. I wasn't expecting it. He wasn't expecting it. It scared the absolute crap out of both of us. So then he reaches up in a panic and grabs my hand to try and pull it off the throttle, where I've got a death grip on it. So I twisted harder. So by the time we get to the end of my grandmother's street, my grandmother, my dad, my mom, everybody, their eyes are like saucers, and we're barreling towards the main street that runs in front of my grandmother's house. And I won't let go. So my dad finally gets the death grip broken loose, and we get the bike stopped just short of the red light, and then surging out into the middle of the intersection. But that was my very first interaction with Harley-Davidson, and it's a core memory that I'll never forget. And it's the reason why I'll never ride anything but Harley, or what I should say American at this point, because I like Indians too. But it's kind of the reason why I'm just partial to Harley. Now, there's a reason why I'm partial to Dynas and Sportsters. I'm going to cover that in another episode too. But I'm almost at work. I didn't want to make it too long, and it's just a fun like sharing of history. It's not necessarily my history. It's just a fun story of what caused me to start loving Harley in the first place. Like I said, hey, let's interact. Comment down below what your first experience with Harley was, whether it's panhead, shovelhead, knucklehead, whatever. I've got a lot of stories that are going to go up on here. And it ain't about me, guys. It ain't all about me. This is just to get the primer, to prime the pump, to get the stories flowing. Let's all just interact with each other. Subscribe if you'd like. Like the video if you'd like. Whatever you want to do, man. I'm not forcing you to do anything. But I will see you guys down the road. Keep the greasy side down, ride often. See you soon.